Hi there, welcome to my channel Intuitive Circle. Welcome to my TikTok page if you're viewing from there. I thought I would make a two-part series today talking about the three modalities and the elements that are involved in the zodiac. So if you are a beginner learning about astrology, this video may be useful to you in terms of understanding a little bit more about the background of the zodiacs and where do we derive these ideas from about the different zodiacs. So I'm going to start off by talking about the modality of the different zodiacs. The modality is really talking about the kind of energy and the behaviors of the zodiac groups, and what their kind of role is in higher society as in general. What do they bring to society, and how can we see these different zodiacs presented in society, right? The wider society around us is made up of different people who offer different things, and the zodiac is one way of looking and one way of explaining how and why society behaves and functions in different ways. So the first group that we're looking at here is the cardinal group, okay? So a cardinal type of modality, when we're talking about that, we're talking about the initiators, right? We're talking about people who are the go-getters. We're talking about people who want to lead the way. You've got, for example, Aries, that is a cardinal fire sign. So using the grid, you go down the cardinal, across to fire, and you've got Aries. So Aries are the people who are going to start new ventures. They're going to make bold moves. They're going to take risks. They're going to start a business. They're going to initiation. Okay, cardinal energy is all about initiation, the initial spark. Society has to have a group of people who want to go ahead and drive and do something and are the risk takers. Okay. Now, how these cardinal signs initiate and risk things or do things to spark up a new venture, they all do it in a different way. For example, a Cancer is also a cardinal sign, but it's ruled by water. So they're going to be the initiators of the emotional realm, the initiators of the home and family life, okay? When you've got air, an air cardinal sign, that will be Libra. Air is going to be ruling the thought, communication, so social interaction, and they're going to be the ones to initiate that. They're going to be the ones to initiate or start social contracts, social partnerships, related initiatives regarding, for example, if you wanted to collaborate with someone, it may be good to do that with a Libra, because a Libra, they initiate and they like to start off social connections, okay? Then if you move to the Capricorn, which is a cardinal earth sign, you've got the energy of building security initiating security in the material realm. A lot of Capricorns can be quite status driven, and they can want to be the ones to initiate legacies that last a long time, and they lay the foundations down and they spark the initiatives for things that are long-term successes. A lot of them seek to start off initiatives that provide security for people, and they think in terms of legacy. So when they initiate things, it's coming from a place of how will this affect 3 futures generations down the line. Next, I'm going to be moving on to the fixed modality. So what do the fixed signs do in relation to the cardinal signs? Because each of these modalities actually do link to each other. So the fixed signs, they actually build upon what the cardinal signs have initiated. So like I said, cardinal signs initiate, they strike up something, they spark initiative in different ways. And now the fixed sign's going to take that energy, they're going to stabilize, they're going to strengthen what's been initiated, and they're going to build upon that. with their fixed energy. Okay, so they're going to control, maintain, and kind of provide the earthy energy that the initial spark began. Okay, so you've got Taurus, you've got let me start that again. You've got Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Leo are the fixed modes, okay? So your Taurus, you've got somebody who will potentially want to build the material world, build a world of comfort. Taurus people often enjoy luxuries of life, like food, things that are especially like comforting. They will enjoy all of those types of things, and they may seek to build and understand what the Capricorn, which is the cardinal earth, what the Capricorn has tried to lay down and what they've initiated. The Taurus is going to value that and they're going to build upon it. Okay, next you've got the Aquarius. So the Aquarius, they are going to, using their thought, communication, and interaction, they're the type of people that are going to kind of intellectualize and build upon what the Libra has laid down. Okay, so if the Libra comes up with the idea of we're going to collaborate with this company, the Aquarius is going to go, okay, I know how, and I'm going to intellectualize that, and I'm going to come up with an idea that makes that work, and I'm going to use my innovation and my understanding of the collective to build upon that. So the fixed signs are the building energy, basically. Then we've got Scorpio. So Scorpio is a water sign, but it's a fixed water sign. So Scorpio energies can be about building, transforming the emotional world. Okay, it can be building upon what the Cancer is doing. So the Cancer may have initiated, I want to move home, because Cancer does rule the home. Let's take a kind of very basic example. A Cancer person wants to move home. The Scorpio person is the person that's going to research the area, is going to research how long it's going to take. They're going to research the finances, and they're going to let the transformation build. Okay, they're the person that's going to bridge that gap. They're going to take the initial spark, they're going to add a touch of transformation and a touch of emotion and a touch of water to the situation, and they're going to offer a deeper insight. They're going to bring darkness to light. Okay, then you're going to move on to the Leo. Okay, so that's a fixed fire sign. Fixed fire sign Leo, they're going to build. So we said that the fixed signs build upon the cardinal energy. So the Leo is going to build leadership in a creative way. So for example, a Leo is going to be the type of person who, you know, maybe their friend, the Aries, has said, we're going to start up I want to start up a business doing something creative. The Leo's going to say, oh, okay, I know all about creative outlets, and I'm going to help you build leadership in this domain. If you want, for example, to build a theatre, perfect. A Leo would be like, I would know all about that type of energy. Okay. So they build on the initial kind of Aries thing, but they make it more grandiose. They make it more royal. They make it more presentable. They kind of refine, and they make it into a kind of outlet as opposed to just an initiative idea. Okay. Hopefully you can kind of understand that society does need all of these people to function, and astrology does a fantastic way of explaining why you have some people that initiate, why you have some people that need to be grounded and to build. And then obviously the last modality is a mutable sign, which means they can adapt, organize, change, transform. They add a touch of relevance. Okay, so they're building upon this cycle. So you've got the cardinal that's got the initiation, you've got the fixed, which builds the idea, then you've got the mutable, which is going to refine the next stage, is going to make things relevant and adapt using their intuition, using their emotional world. They're going to refine or they're going to just like perfect it, basically. Okay, so the last modality. If you take the mutable earth sign, Virgo, okay, you're going to get somebody who's good at organization and refining the finer details and analyzing the work of the previous. So whichever fixed sign was previous to that. So for example, Taurus, they're going to take what the Taurus has done, and the Virgo is going to be like, I can tweak that. If anybody knows Virgo people, they're very good at sometimes being critical and nitpicking. No, it should be like this, tweaking. So that's what the Virgo earth energy is going to do. It's going to take it and it's going to try and perfect what has been laid down by the fixed sign. Okay? The Gemini is a mutable air sign. Gemini is what are they going to do in wider societies? They're going to spread and communicate the ideas and make it accessible to other people via talking, okay? Getting the message out there. Aquarius came up with a cool idea, but the Gemini is going to be the one who's like, this is how I'm going to spread it. This is how I'm going to spread the word. I'm going to adapt it. I'm going to refine it, and I'm going to get the word out there. Okay, because they're ruled by Mercury. Mercurial people are thinking a lot, and they are trying to brainstorm and innovate things. Okay. So the Gemini energy is going to try and get it out there via communication. They may use like social media or different ways of communication, like texting, writing, advertising, to get the message out there, okay? Next we're going to move on to Pisces. So Pisces are a mutable water sign. Okay, so Pisces, when they do their kind of work in society, what they would do is they would provide the intuitive and emotional touch to things, perfect for charity work or humanitarian things. They're going to be able to kind of provide refinement in the kind of more spiritual realms, okay? So if somebody wanted to start an initiative regarding spirituality or a healing profession, because Neptune is ruled by Pisces, so the Piscean energy can be related to healing. You could ask a Piscean person about starting up a business, and how would you refine a business that is about maybe being like a chiropractor, maybe like mental health service, something to do with healing the mind, or Reiki, or energy healing, or aura reading, something like that. A Pisces person would be able to tell you the refinement and how to perfect your kind of emotional business, or emotional healing business, let's say. They would be able to point you in the right direction. And last but not least, I'm going to be moving on to Sagittarius, which is the bottom corner down here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so the Sagittarian energy is a fixed it's a mutable fire sign. So it's going to be talking about how we broaden and expand, okay, and add to other cultures, potentially, the initial idea. Okay, how they're going to refine it. The Sagittarius person is going to refine it, and they're going to tell you how it's going to work philosophically. They're going to tell you how to broaden the horizons and expand it. Okay, so they're all going to be about, they may also refine things ethically for you, because obviously ninth house energy, Sagittarius energy, also rules over religion. So they may ethically have a strong opinion about whether that was the right or the wrong thing to do for society. Okay, I hope that has explained to you the modality and the elements. I am going to go into a part 2, so please hold on tight.